So, every single boxing fan, every single boxer, everyone is behind Mike Tyson going into this fight against Jake Paul this weekend. Well, Friday. We're all Team Iron Mike at the end of the day because this guy is a legend of the game. He's done a lot for the sport overall. And, when you talk to casual fans and all that about boxing, Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali, the two first names that really do pop into the mind. When you talk about boxing legends in general, Mike Tyson is one of those guys. He is one of the greatest of all time and one of the most entertaining fighters to ever do it. And, it's going to be so sad if he does lose this weekend. And as much as I'm fully behind Mike Tyson and I'm always going to be supporting him through this fight with Jake Paul, I don't think he's going to win. I don't see it ending well for Mike Tyson. But I'm praying to God, though, that Mike Tyson wins this fight. I really hope he wins. And I just imagine the scenes if he does. Imagine the scenes if he does. Imagine the news articles if he does. It's going to be absolutely everywhere. It's going to go absolutely viral if Mike Tyson can pull this off and knock Jake Paul out. It's going to be absolutely mental if he does. The scenes if he does it will be absolutely unreal. And if Mike Tyson does it, he's basically saved boxing from the absolute clown show that Jake Paul's bringing to it all. I mean, we all know how much of a con man Jake Paul is. I mean, at the end of the day, I think it's so strange the money they're getting for this fight. I think the fact that Jake Paul's getting 40 million and Mike Tyson's getting 20 million, it's a lot of bloody money either way. I mean, Jesus Christ. It's a lot of money either way. But Mike Tyson's a bigger name than Jake Paul. Mike Tyson should be the A side going into this fight. He should, and Mike Tyson should be getting paid more, if not the same, at the end of the day. I feel like the hype around this is that Mike Tyson is coming back after, 19 years out, after not having a pro fight for 19 years. And obviously, I mean, people are going to mention the Roy Jones exhibition, but I don't care. He hasn't had a pro fight since 2005. Everyone's here to see Mike Tyson. There are many boxing fans who never watch Jake Paul's fights because, everyone thinks it's gimmick. I mean, I still watch Jake Paul's fights, even though I think it's an absolute, it's all gimmick and a clown show. But I still bloody watch his fights because, I don't know why. But, I think the reason most people are watching is because Mike Tyson is coming back after 19 years and people want to see what he can still do. People want to see what he can still do. As much as, we're all against this fight, we're watching for Mike Tyson. There are many people who boycott Jake Paul's fights. And those people are coming in to watch this fight live on Netflix purely because of Mike Tyson. You've got loads of people out there who don't usually watch Jake Paul's fights, like Jake Paul versus Mike Perry, Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley. Loads of people don't watch those fights. Like, if they were being shown on Netflix, they're not getting the attention that Mike Tyson would bring. Mike Tyson is the A side here coming into this fight. He is, because Mike Tyson's the reason why Jake Paul's getting this attention on Netflix. Mike Tyson's the only guy who can do this kind of draw with Jake Paul. If Mike Tyson was fighting anyone else but Jake Paul, I feel like Mike Tyson would bring in numbers still no matter what. Jake Paul doesn't matter in this situation. He doesn't. It's all because of Mike Tyson. But at the end of the day, we're all going to be praying that he wins this fight because he's, at the end of the day, he's 58. This isn't prime Mike Tyson where, the bob and weave Mike Tyson, that good pressure style with the heaviest hands ever, let's be real. The combinations the man threw. I mean, honestly, he's an unbelievable fighter. He was an unbelievable fighter back in his day. And it's disappointing that, that there's a big chance he loses to Jake Paul this weekend. And, I'm obviously not someone who grew up watching Mike Tyson. I'm too young for that. But, I still know how much of a legend to the game that this man is. And, going back through all of his past fights as well, I know how much of a legend this man is to the sport. And I extremely am behind him going into this fight. But it's gonna be difficult. I said it in my prediction video for the fight, though. Prime Mike Tyson kills Jake Paul in a matter of seconds. 58-year-old Mike Tyson, who, has been on drugs and stuff like that, has had health issues. It's a risk going to a fight against a 27-year-old who is extremely juiced up. It's clear Jake Paul is on all kinds of things. I mean, I'm really glad though that Mike Tyson has got himself into the best shape possible for this. I'm really glad he has, and right now he looks the best he's been in a very long time. Mike Tyson does. So that's a big positive. That is a big positive. But it's gonna be difficult for a lot of people to watch though this fight against Jake Paul. It is, because Jake Paul's a massive clown in the sport, doing all these gimmick fights, claiming he'll be a world champ when he's nowhere near that level at all. And Jake Paul thinks that it's morally all right to come in and fight a 58-year-old at 27 years old. I feel like if Mike Tyson was having a rematch with Roy Jones Jr. or, having an exhibition with Lennox Lewis on Netflix, no one's going to have a problem with that because, they're same age. They fought each other before when they were young lads. But Mike Tyson coming up against 27-year-old Jake Paul, and Jake Paul thinks that this is morally right to fight a 58-year-old. It's out of this world. But let's hope that Mike Tyson can just rip up this script for Jake Paul. And let's hope that Mike Tyson absolutely runs through this man and takes his head off. That's what we need Mike Tyson to do. But it's going to be difficult because at 58 years old, you're not taking shots the same. And, it's difficult because with Mike Tyson's style as well, it's one of the best possible styles I think a lot of us have seen. But it's difficult to use at 58 years old. The agility that he has, the quickness, the pace that Mike Tyson used to have, it's not fully always going to be there now. But let's be real, though. Jake Paul's useless. So I think, people are giving Mike Tyson a puncher's chance here. I'm really hoping he wins, but I just don't see it. But I'm behind him. I really am behind him. And if he pulls it off, then I'll be absolutely over the moon. Because I want Jake Paul out of boxing. And I want a proper good fairy tale ending for Mike Tyson to end Jake Paul for good. And how embarrassing it would be for Jake Paul, setting all this up, trying to, claim that he's fighting prime Mike Tyson. Jake Paul saying age doesn't matter. It does. And Mike Tyson can end this guy at 58 years old. Jake Paul's going to be laughed at a lot, and Mike Tyson would have saved boxing, and everyone's going to love him even more if he's able to get this win. Let's hope and let's pray that he does it Friday night. Hopefully Iron Mike does it. He's a legend of the sport, surely. I just hope that the gods do something, honestly, and let's just hope that Mike Tyson does it. But let's hope the combat sport gods do it for us and give Mike Tyson this win.